There should be a Speedo relay.
We could easily break the world record in the medleys. Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't even say it would be that hard. It would be quite easy, I think. Yeah. Because then you would also have I don't know. Imagine that. I think that should be done. Even if it doesn't count, it should just be good. Like straight after a World Champs or straight after Olympics, go for the attempt. That'd be pretty cool.
I would like to see it. I'd like to see some exhibition swims at least. Certainly short course meters, just for fun. But that has to be done. You have the power to make that happen. As swim fans, we expect you to weigh in with your influence and make this happen. Do we have a commitment from you? We're putting you on the
Maybe
spot.
Not short course. I'll give you my commitment. Definitely long course.
By the time you turn 17, do you have goals now that you want to accomplish?
I do. I do want to beat the world record for 16 years old, which is actually Kyle's Chalmers record, which is actually what that person has commented on my video, which I have replied on. I believe his time is about 47.6-ish, something. And actually the A cut for the Olympics is 57. So if I want to qualify to the Olympics, and if I will beat his record too. So I'll kill two birds with a stone. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
So when I come to finish a 50, it hurts way more than it should. I have a tough time, backing up with a second swim, third swim, a fourth swim. It gets worse and worse. And I'm honestly tired of being the guy that can only swim 50s. And I mean, I don't know if this is something I've said before, but it's definitely, I've gotten to a point where I'm ready to kind of give up a little more of the fun things. Obviously, I'm still going to be the guy that will do it all. I'll surf and I'll play volleyball and a thing like that. But I think it needs to be much more controlled and honed in and planned out so that it doesn't take away from my training.
We did hundreds every Thursday, and it was a little different for each of us, but I think I started out at 24 100s, and they were on 130, I think. And for me, they were all best average, 24 100s best average. Some other people did hundreds, some people did 50s. And then each week we would drop, I think 6. So I think we did 18 the next week, 12 the next week, 6 the next week. And the goal was to have a faster average each week. So that was a fun set. Good to just see the progression. And again, just another, it wasn't straight up racing or suited up or anything like that, but just something each week to look forward to as a little marker to see where we're at.
Did you hold a best average each time?
I think I did. Sometimes it was just by a 10th or 2, but I took it.
I've been teasing Caeleb to race me in the 25 throughout the whole training trip, and he hasn't done it yet. So I think he's a little scared there. I hope he hears this.
Dude, we've seen your closing speed. I mean, he's got the start, but we know you have the finish. So I think it's anyone's race.
I might need a couple second head start,
I was talking with my boss Mel yesterday, and we're talking about this podcast, and he was like, "I wonder what Bobby's best 50 free time is." Because we're like, because he came home in 25.7 on that mile, like that, that's serious speed. So I looked it up. Do you know what your best 50 free time is?
It's 25 something, I think.
It's 25.4.
Yeah.
Do you think you could go
kind of recent too? That was when I was like 18 or 17.
Yeah, my speed was definitely there, but I feel like my endurance was as well, because I came home with my 50.5. I was home in a 26.0, I think it was. So that's pretty quick, and kind of, yeah, I feel like I can still go quicker. So I'm hoping maybe at ISL or something like that, I can go a bit quicker.
Where do you feel like you can improve on that race? Just the speed, or are there certain parts of that race? I mean, racing in the World Cup or at ISL, I'm guessing you get pretty dialed into the very nuanced details of the race.
Yeah, I'd say probably my skills. So like my dive and my turns, And I don't know, I feel like each time I'm diving in, especially I think because I came off the break and then went into the racing, every time I'm racing, I'm kind of getting a bit quicker and quicker. So it's probably just getting that kind of racing fitness back.
I'd been feeling really good the whole time. I think the hardest part for me of the double taper was just like turning around from trials and like going right back into like hard training to get ready to taper again, you know? So yeah, by the time we were in Tokyo, I was feeling really good and starting to taper well again. So yeah, it was great. And then all the training facilities were amazing.
Yeah. But had you ever done a double taper before?
No, I hadn't.
Did you have any expectations about it going in, or, you know, were you just like, okay, let's try to do this again?
Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of like, we had talked about like, if I make the team, like kind of planning for that, you know, beforehand. So we had kind of an idea of what I would be doing and everything. And so we were just kind of trying to replicate what I had done before trials as best we could.
I'm really excited to get back in and, you know, find a new program and fix up a few injuries that I carried through the Olympics. So yeah, just looking at slowly building back in. Don't want to disrupt anything too much.
Yeah. What injuries were you dealing with during the Olympics?
So I only found out maybe 2 weeks ago. I tore the back of my labrum in my shoulder. I did it in our staging camp in Cairns. So just before the Olympics, I was in the gym and, you know, popped it out behind my head and I didn't realize. So I had a fair bit of pain for 2-3 days afterwards. And then, you know, then went to the Olympics and it was fine until the last 2 days. I was like, no, something's not right. In quarantine, I was in quite a bit of pain too. So as soon as I got out, went and got an MRI and yeah, sure enough, did a little bit of damage.
So for the last 2 days in Tokyo, how did you deal with that pain?
Oh, I mean, I couldn't do anything about it. The best they could do was give me anti-inflams and, you know, I took one. I was like, no, that's not doing anything. So I was just like, I just got to put up with it, do the best I can. I've only got 2 races left. So yeah.
Those 2 races being the 2-back final and the medley relay final. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah. So pretty big ones, but you know, as sometimes athletes, we just get dealt the worst card sometimes. And that wasn't the worst card I've been dealt, but yeah, it was definitely unlucky.
I'm more valuable to the team in that sense than putting me on the 2 free relay and us getting bronze. The Great Britain was going to win that relay. I don't know if that sounds sorry or makes me sound like I'm not believing, I don't believe in this team. The guys that they had on that relay were so impressive. You had 2 guys going, Duncan and Tom Dean going 144. That's half the relay right there. Jimmy, I think, split a 145 low. Like, I'm fine with admitting there was a better team than us. Now, I'm not saying that's why I didn't do the relay, but I was more valuable to the team later on in the meet. So that's, and it sucked. It sucked. I told Troy, I said, I don't want to make a decision that I'm going to regret the rest of my life. And he goes, did you ever swim the 2 free in college? I said, no. And I regret that for the rest of my life.
What's keeping you going for that 3rd Olympics and that 3rd 100 free Olympic final?
The envisionment of having a gold medal sandwich, I think that's, you know, you got the gold medal, the silvers, the piece of ham in the middle, and you have the gold medal at the top. So for me, that would be very special. But I think for me, the biggest thing is like I lost by 0.06 of a second. And I think that's all the motivation and determination that I need to come back and do it all again. I think it would have been extremely challenging if I rocked up in Tokyo after just having shoulder surgery, won the 100 freestyle and broke the world record. Say, like, how do you mentally kind of come back from that and be like, yeah, I can push on for another Olympics. But to go there and lose by just my reaction time off the blocks, it motivates me more than anything to be back there and like I said, win that gold medal sandwich. So I think, the fire in the belly is definitely stronger than it's ever been.